Hey guys, and welcome back to this week's video. This weekly video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the best baked macaroni and cheese, so stay tuned. First things first, we're going to start off with our ingredients. We have all-purpose flour, we have salt, cayenne pepper, black pepper, garlic salt, 2 cartons of chicken broth, Elbows pasta, Carnation's evaporated milk, butter, heavy whipping cream, mozzarella cheese, 4-state cheddar cheese, and sharp cheddar. So now we're going to go ahead and cook our elbow pasta. I'm going to be grabbing a large saucepan, putting this over medium-high heat, and I'm going to go ahead and pour my 2 cartons of chicken broth. This is going to go ahead and give your elbow pasta so much flavor. I promise you won't regret it. Next, we're going to go ahead and work on the sauce while our chicken broth comes to a boil. We're going to be adding a whole stick of butter, and we're going to allow this to completely melt before we add anything else to this mixture. Once the butter is completely melted, we are going to go ahead and incorporate our flour to thicken up the sauce. I'm going to be using half a cup of flour, and I'm going to go ahead and just pour all this flour into the butter and start mixing. Now this part is crucial. You want to make sure you don't have any lumps, but you also want to wait to add the next ingredient by making sure that this has thickened. Now we'll be adding our heavy whipping cream. I'm using a whole 16-ounce bottle, and this is going to allow our sauce to thicken up even more, but it's also going to make your mac and cheese so creamy. Love using this for any pasta dishes, any creamy pasta dishes that I am cooking. Alright, so I went ahead and grabbed half a cup of evaporated milk, and I'm going to go ahead and pour this into my sauce and continue to mix. This is going to add some extra creaminess. Love it. Now to spice things up, I'm going to be grabbing half a tablespoon of black pepper and pouring that into the mixture. Now we're also going to be adding half a tablespoon of garlic salt. And in addition to that, we're going to be adding a whole tablespoon of regular salt. And for the cayenne pepper, this is totally optional and up to you, depending on how spicy you like it. I like a generous amount of cayenne pepper in my sauce. Now we mix and make sure that all our spices are incorporated. You can see that this sauce is beginning to thicken, and this is the consistency you're looking for. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and start cooking our elbow pasta. Now you can see my chicken broth has come to a boil, so I'm going to be adding the whole box and allowing it to cook for about 9 to 10 minutes, depending on how long the box tells you to cook for. Now, I also want to make sure that I don't get any clumps of pasta, so I'm going to be stirring this mixture just to make sure that all the pasta is nice and separated and evenly coated in the chicken broth. Adding the cheeses, I have the 4-state cheddar, sharp cheddar, and I also have some mozzarella cheese. The first cheese I'll be using is the 4-state cheddar, and I'm going to be using a cup of this, and I'll just be pouring it into my sauce mixture. The next cheese we'll be using is sharp cheddar. I'll be using a whole cup of this, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour it into my sauce as well. And lastly, for cheeses, we'll also be adding a whole cup of mozzarella cheese to the mixture. Also, you're going to be preheating your oven to 375 degrees. Checking back in on my pasta, I'm going to go ahead and see if it's fully cooked, and it is, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the stove. Let's go ahead and layer our macaroni and cheese. So what I'd like to do is add a little bit of macaroni and add quite a lot of sauce, because I do like my macaroni to be very cheesy. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the sauce in with my macaroni noodles. You're going to go ahead and keep on repeating this step. Now the point of this is to get all your elbow pasta evenly coated with this sauce, just so you can get that extra cheesy flavor when you bite into this macaroni and cheese. Now, once you've coated your elbow pasta with the sauce, we're going to go ahead and finish it off with some 4-state cheddar cheese on top. I like to add a generous amount. This is totally optional, up to you, but this also allows it to give it that crust, the cheesy crust on top. I will also be adding a little bit of the sharp cheddar cheese, and when I say a little bit, I mean a lot because I enjoy cheese. So this is what your mac and cheese will look like before you place it in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and move it over to the oven. I'm going to put it on the top rack and I'm going to leave it uncovered. And remember, your oven should be preheated to 375 degrees. You are going to be letting this cook for about 25 minutes. So I do like to check up on my mac and cheese halfway through, making sure that it isn't burnt and it's looking good. And there you guys have it. This is the final product. I'm so excited how this turned out. I did allow my mac and cheese to rest 10 minutes before cutting into it. And look at all that cheese. Oh my goodness, this is so delicious. Let me know if you guys tried this recipe out, what you guys think, and thanks again for watching.